Okay, today we're talking about slopes and systems of equations. So we're going to start in the center, first right here underneath window notes for slopes and systems of equations. The system is just when you have more than one and you're trying to determine how they relate. So we're going to start with the idea that when two lines are compared, this is in the middle, there are only four ways for possible they can be related. So the first one is parallel. That means that they have the same slope, where slope 1 equals two numbers, a over b, and slope 2 equals the same, a over b. But they also have different y-intercepts. That means that b1 does not equal b2. So on a graph that looks like this, we would have line 1 and line 2, where this is b1 and this is b2. So same slope, different intercepts. Then we might have two lines that are perpendicular. And that happens when the slopes are opposite reciprocals. That means that the slope of 1 is a over b, and the slope of 2 is the opposite of b over a. So the numbers have changed positions and the signs are changed. So when I have m1 times m2, which is a over b times negative b over a, it equals negative 1. On a graph, those two lines would look like this. Line 1 and line 2, where they have formed a right angle. You look for, in trying to determine, opposite signs and reciprocal fractions. So that's what you're looking for as you try to determine if something is perpendicular. Along the same lines as parallel is something called coincidental. And coincidental is when they have the same slope. So M1 is A over B, and M2 is A over B, and the same y-intercept. Where B1 equals B2. That means that given a graph, I have one line that looks like that, and a second line that lays right on top. Where we have B2 and B1 as the same. So coincidental lines are the same line. So if we go through all these processes and they're not parallel, and they're not coincidental, and they're not perpendicular, we are left with neither. The first way is that they are different slopes. And not opposite reciprocals. So that would look like M1 is A over B, and M2 is negative A over B. Another example could be if M1 is A over B, and, oops, not equals, M2 is B over A. Notice that they meet one of the criteria, like this first example, there is a negative. They are opposite signed, but they are not opposite and reciprocals. In number 2, they are reciprocals, but they are not opposite signed. And so what that looks like on a graph is if I have line 1 that goes like this, and line 2 that goes like this. They are not parallel, and they are not perpendicular. So of the 4 ways, and there are only 4 possible ways that this can only 4 possible ways that lines can be related: parallel, coincidental, perpendicular, and neither.